You need to watch this if you struggle with understanding the eerie silence of June and Jennifer Gibbons. June and Jennifer Gibbons were twins, really close, like closer than you can imagine. They were inseparable, but there was something different about them. They were so quiet, it was almost scary. It was like they were trapped in their own little world. Their silence wasn't normal. It wasn't just being shy or quiet. It was a deep, unsettling silence, broken only by whispers they shared with each other. The twins, born in 1963, lived in Wales. Being so quiet made them different from everyone else. They were the only black kids in a mostly white town. People treated them differently and didn't include them because of their race. This made their bond even stronger. Their world became smaller. It was just the two of them against everyone else. Their silence made people afraid and curious. Some people whispered that they were cursed. Others thought they were sick in the head. Doctors examined them, trying to understand their secret language. They made them go to therapy, hoping to get them to talk. Nothing worked. June and Jennifer remained a mystery. June and Jennifer weren't completely silent, though. They had a language, a secret language. It was a language only they understood, a jumbled mix of fast English and made-up words. Their language showed how special their bond was. It was a world built for two, a world where no one else was allowed. This secret language made them even more isolated. It made them even more different from everyone else, making people even more afraid and curious about them. Their parents were confused, doctors were puzzled, speech therapists tried to teach them to speak properly. But June and Jennifer wouldn't give up their language. It was their lifeline, their connection to each other. As they got older, their world grew bigger than just their secret language. They started writing. They filled tons of diaries with stories, poems, and plays. Their writing was dark and imaginative. It gave clues about their rich inner world, a world of imagination and sometimes scary violence. When they became teenagers, June and Jennifer changed. Their bond, which used to comfort them, became darker. They started acting strangely. They withdrew even further into themselves. Then came the fire. The twins, barely teenagers, were caught setting things on fire. It wasn't a harmless joke, it was serious and dangerous. Setting the fire was their way of asking for help, a desperate attempt to communicate. It was the result of years of bottled-up frustration, anger, and loneliness. The authorities stepped in. They decided that June and Jennifer were a danger to themselves and others. They were sent to Broadmoor, a mental hospital with lots of security. Broadmoor was a cold, harsh place. The twins were locked up. They were given lots of medication. Their spirits, already fragile, seemed to break even more. They became even more silent. Years went by. Inside Broadmoor, June and Jennifer made a scary agreement. They decided that one of them had to die for the other to truly live. This wasn't a suicide pact. This was different. This was a sacrifice. In 1993, Jennifer died. She died from acute myocarditis, a sudden heart problem. No one knew why it happened. It was a medical mystery. June, keeping their promise, started to speak. She spoke freely and openly. She stopped whispering and using their secret language. She explained their pact. She said Jennifer had given up her life for her. June went on to live a relatively normal life. She was released from Broadmoor. She blended into society, but questions remain. Was Jennifer's death truly a sacrifice? Or was it a terrible consequence of being locked up, of being forced apart? The story of June and Jennifer Gibbons is a haunting reminder of how complicated human connection is and the mysteries of the human mind. Their bond couldn't be broken, even by death.